Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is April the 5th, 2024, and April showers bring May flowers, correct? What does April snow bring? Okay, Easter is done. We shouldn't have snow, but you can tell, listen, it's kind of turning to rain now and dripping off the house. So, yeah, we got white stuff all over the ground. Not happy about it, but I know it's going to be gone. Okay, coming up on Monday, April the 8th, it's the total solar eclipse, and we're right in the path. It's going to be 12 degrees and sunny right now. So this white stuff will all be gone. And it looks like it's going to be a clear day for that video or that live stream, whatever I can get done. That's going to happen on Monday. But today, it's Friday, so I'm going to show you the mail that arrived this week. Got quite a few postcards and some surprises that showed up. Not much on the post crossing front, though. Let me show you. Back at the usual spot, this is what arrived this week. Zero in the way of post crossing showed up. This is all friend mail, and a couple surprises showed up too, so we're going to talk about those. And no, I'm happy for it. And also, we got another card came in for my answers for the month. If you're not sure what that is, every Saturday I do a live stream. So tomorrow at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, I'll be doing a live stream. And the first Saturday of every month, I ask a question of you, give you a whole month to respond by postcard or letter to me. And then the following first Saturday, before I give you a new question, I show you the responses that I got. So this month I'd asked the question, what do you collect? I've got a number of postcards that showed up. So I'll show you and I'll talk to you about what other people are collecting out there. And then probably because it's a live stream, we might have some discussions. Last week, we talked for 2 hours. It was the longest live stream I've done to date, but it was good. It was consistent. People talked about different things. There is a real bond of the community too. So I think some of the same people tune in each week and they talk to each other. And maybe that's the only time they get to talk as close to real time as you would, but from around the world. So thank you so much. Let's dive in. After you've subscribed, you like, you leave positive comments, you share with other people. Oh yeah, and don't forget to check out some of the new videos that have recently dropped too. Stamp versus Stamp, which is a collaboration I do with Snail Mail with Smokey. That video came out yesterday. We challenged each other even further in this one and made it really difficult, but it was a lot of fun finding the stamps that we did. And we've put out a challenge to you guys too on that video to leave a comment of what maybe we should be looking at in the next month's version, how we're going to try to find those stamps. The other thing that came out is Stamp of the Month. You want to make sure that you go and check that one out. It is on Canada's most famous stamp. And I talk a little bit about a history of the blue nose. We put those two things together and you kind of figure out what stamp I'm talking about. And then there's a massive giveaway too with collaboration with Liverpool Stamps in that video. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channels and follow us on Instagram and leave the comment Liverpool Stamps in the video. A number of people have left comments on the video, which I appreciate all the time, but they don't put Liverpool Stamps. If you don't put Liverpool Stamps, you can't be entered to win. So if you gave me a comment, make sure you go back, put Liverpool Stamps. I want everybody to have a fair chance to win that. All right, let's get to today's mail. The first card I have is so cute. It's this one here, perfect match. We've got 3 cactuses and 1 hedgehog. He's also a little bit prickly, as a polo can be from time to time. This postcard comes from Erin in Colorado in the United States. Reason I'm talking about this one first is because when she wrote this on March 15th, she said, we're having a blizzard today, so I'm staying inside to catch up. Yeah. Blizzard middle of March, kind of what you expect. Snow first week of April. I mean, it happens, but we don't want it anymore. I talked about that. One of the other things she'd mentioned in it, which I'm sorry to hear that she said her car was stolen. Silver lining though that she gets grateful for the people and amazing friends and family who helped to help her. Hopefully, your car was recovered. If not, hopefully the insurance has covered it and you have new wheels now. So very sorry to hear that you had your car stolen, Erin. Things like that do happen, unfortunately. All right, the next card I have was a surprise card. This really cute card. I don't know if she's designed this herself. This comes from Leela, and she is in the Philippines. She says she I'm going to read it. I'm going to read part of it anyway, so we'll do a synopsis. She said she laughed when she saw my YouTube channel because she does the same thing. She shows the cards and stamps to her students. She brings it, she's a teacher, she brings them into her students. Now, her students are not young. They're in university, so their age is 19 to 24, which I really appreciate that she's doing this hobby, and she's talking about snail mail and how you send and write a card. Super important because a lot of people don't know that. I know my daughter had to ask how to fill out a card when she had to send one. So it's a good skill to have. There are the stamps. They come from the Philippines. So thank you so much. She said she probably should have started a YouTube channel as well. Still not too late. You still can. But I appreciate that you watched my channel, that you liked how I presented the cards, and that you're doing a similar type of thing with your students. And certainly during COVID and all the other things, it has been a great way to travel around the world. The other thing I really liked is how she spelled my name with the colors. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate people taking the time when they find my videos on YouTube to just send me a little note, how you found me, what you think of the video, maybe similar things that you're doing yourself. So thank you. Next card comes from Vera in Germany, and she was recently here in Sylt Island, which is the northernmost island in Germany. She's been there on vacation, so they call it the German Hamptons. Now, if you don't know what the Hamptons are, too, Hamptons are in Long Island, New York. It's one of the vacation places a lot of Americans go to. It's also where a lot of wealthy people have their homes. I was fortunate one summer to live in Long Island working as a prep cook in a restaurant, and when we had time off, like on a Saturday or whatever day we happened to get off, a Tuesday maybe, when the restaurant was closed on Monday, we would go to the Hamptons, and I would take a bike down there and bike and yeah, spend some time along the beach. So that's what she was doing. She was going and spending some time on the beach and enjoying the area. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Look at the stamp. So cool, this tall ship. And of course you have the flower stamps for those people that collect flower stamps. This one certainly interests me way more, so thank you, Vera, for that. The next card is a post-crossing meetup card from Innsbruck, very famous for the hosting of the Olympics. This comes from Daisy, or Anita, in Austria. She went to a meetup. You can see all the people that were there as well, and the beautiful stamp from Austria. So Innsbruck, 1964 for the Winter Olympics. Were you around it in 1964? Do you remember the Olympics? It was before my time, but I certainly remember hearing stories from Innsbruck. All right, the next card, another hedgehog card. This one here, this comes from Charlie in the Netherlands. Very nice. She's gotten a chance to send some more mail my way. There are the stamps and the stickers. It made it all Eastery. Even had some chocolate down there too, chocolate bunny. So thank you so much for that. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of a nice Easter and got some treats as well. Next one, nice. Year of the Dragon 2024. This comes from Linda in Georgia. I haven't heard from Linda in a little while, so I'm glad to hear from her again. She's also Linda Stamp Gal on Instagram. So Linda sent this, and she says she was just sending some best wishes to my family. And looking forward to the spring. There is the dragon stamp too from the United States. So thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for sending a card. It's nice to hear from you again, and hope everything is going well. The next card comes from Lila. First, take a minute to take in this dress. It's all made from postcards. So Lila was at the Highlandtown Gallery. This is the 10th anniversary show. It's a special show which features pieces from many of the impactful artists who have connected uniquely with collectors and supporters in our first decade. Original oils, acrylics, watercolors, fiber, mosaic, sculptures, and mixed media artwork will be included. There is the Forever stamp. So thank you, Lila, for that. A really interesting dress. Imagine it took a long time and a lot of cards to make. Next card is a massive card. This one comes from Katya compared to my head. Look how small my head is compared to it. Well, it's all perspective, right? Can you find the unicorn that is on this card? You can see there are many, many cats and some Easter eggs. And if I forgot to mention, this comes from Katja in Sweden. But yeah, she said we had a heavy snowfall yesterday. That was on the 17th of March. So we'd gotten a snowfall in Colorado. We have a snowfall in Sweden, middle of March. There are the stamps, another ship stamp. Nice long one. Love that one. This one's kind of cute too with the child and the toilet paper. Man. All right, thank you Katja for that. The next, going from a large card to a smaller card. Now this card comes as the first one for me. It comes from Lisa in Atlanta. I've seen a card like this before. It was on Snail Mail with Smokey. It's really cute. Can you see what's going on here? There's an arrow pointing at that dot. Let me read what it says. A microscopic picture of an octopus's garden where the TARDIS sits in the shade, while Doctor Who, Baby Yoda, and Gollum peek out from within the watching of a blue cat drive by in a Formula One race car, narrowly missing a hedgehog, crossing the road where the streets have no name. So sorry, did I get my team order of washi tape and stickers, but it was all Halloween. We will talk about that after too, but there. Can you get out your magnifying glass and see all that in there? She has described a bunch of things that are impactful and meaningful to me, whether it's U2, the Beatles, Doctor Who, hedgehogs. Yeah, there was a lot of information in that card. So thank you so much for the creativity on it. She said that she sent one, she wanted to see if this card made it internationally by the United States Postal Service. It certainly did. You can see the stamps on this side, the washi tape, everything I think is intact, Lisa. So thank you so much for reaching out to me and sending me a card. Now that I've got your address, I can write you back as well. So very creative, I love it. And thanks for watching. All right, the next card, an Easter card. This one comes from Zach in Illinois. And so he creates a number of cards. You could see the U.S. Postal System has put their cancellation through the bottom of it. Excuse me, unfortunately. And they're the tiger stamps that he's used on some previous cards as well. I really like those forever stamps, so thank you. The next card is a mailman. This looks like an American mailman based on the uniform, but that's all right. It also reminds me of Mr. Rogers. This looks like Speedy Delivery, if you know the character, the mailman that comes to visit Mr. Rogers in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. But this card comes from Monty and Violet in Saskatchewan. It says he's had this card, formerly a greeting card, for a couple of months. Found it at the Nipawin Salvation Army. I knew there was only one person in the world that he would send it to. So thank you so much for sending it to me. And what I also really appreciate are the stamps, including this stamp from 1974 with the mailman delivery. So that was a really nice set of stamps that came out in my birth year. So yeah, 50 years ago that stamp came out and still has relevance to today. Thank you, Monty and Violet. This next card, we're getting a lot of Easter cards, but that's all right. Easter was just last week, so it's not too bad. This nice nest of eggs with flowers around it. This comes from Billy in the Netherlands, and says they was sending me happy greetings, but says they don't have many Easter traditions there, so she's trying to create her own, which that's a good idea. There's the stamps and the Easter washi tape along the bottom. So thank you, Billy, for that. Next card comes from Washington State in the United States. This one comes from Kara. You can see there's the Space Needle that takes place in Seattle. Just a nice, beautiful one with the moon. We talk a lot about the moon lately because Monday, as I said, it's going to get in the way of the sun and we're going to have a total solar eclipse. And then on the back, got a couple space stamps as well too, and a school bus. So thank you, Kara, for that, taking the time. Her and her family went to Seattle, and so she got that card while she was there. This next card is a Lego card, and it's from, well, not from Denmark, it's from France actually, but it's a card originated with Lego Man in Denmark, the Danish flag on his chest. This comes from Ambre in France, and you should see how it's beautifully decorated. The stamps have so much color. The washi tape has color. She has gone up and above and beyond. It looks beautiful. So thank you for that. She says it's spring here, 2 days into it, and I already reached record temperatures of 25 degrees Celsius. And then she went and saw a movie, and it was really good. So yeah, 25 degrees. We're not hitting that yet, but good on you for having that weather in France already. The next card is a maxi card. This one comes from our friend Jilly B of Living Her Life Her Way. You want to check her out on YouTube, you can see that the mail sorting machine's got a little nibble on it. That's all right. There's a stamp, a matching postcard, all decorated. We've got some unicorns there for the Unicorn Club. We've got one of the older Queen Elizabeth II. Older meaning last year in her, or maybe a year and a half ago, that one came out. Yeah, King Charles III are on the stamps now. So thank you, Jilly, for that. Oh, and Jilly, feel better. I know you have been a little bit touch under the weather lately. If you guys have been missing her videos, that's why. She says they're coming. All right, the next few are from Media. So we've got more mail that is catching up. Media is in Finland. There's some nice stamps. Inside, we have this one, Talon. Nice fishy shaped card. Always like to see shaped cards show up. Then we have an Olympic one. So we have that Innsbruck one. Now we have this Olympic one. It says this celebrates the power of sport, the power to create friendships and to cultivate respect and to bring the world together in the pursuit of excellence. It's a nice way of putting sports and the Olympics. It's not all about the competition and winning, but it is about the unity of all the nations. And then the third card that was in that envelope, probably my favorite of the three. I do like the shape card and I like the message the Olympics bring, but this one's a little bit near and dear to my heart. This couple going through the stamp collection, sharing a moment together, enjoying the collection together. Maybe he's more enthusiastic about it, but she certainly is sharing his joy in the hobby. So I really like that card. A lot of us are doing that and are all looking for people to share their enthusiasm with. If it's not within someone within your own household, it's reaching out to other philatelists and other stamp collectors here on YouTube or on Instagram or wherever. So thank you, Media, for that. She wasn't done though. This envelope showed up with this beautiful tram stamp or train stamp. It looks like it's electric, so it's more of a tram or trolley car, you may call it. Inside, we have this card, another one she got while she was in Estonia. Nice, beautiful. This reminds me of the Ukraine with the fields in the sky and the color. We never want to forget what's happening in Ukraine as it has continued to march on. There are many people that we've gotten to know over there that are still suffering, and we're hoping for an end to this conflict. The next thing that she sent me, it's a nice race car, but it's a wooden postcard. She said she got this from Helsinki, Finland at the stamp shop. So it's quite thick too. So that's why she put it in a nice big envelope. So thank you for that. It's not an F1, but it does kind of remind me of that. But it's a beautiful looking car. Then one more envelope showed up from Media after. Yeah, it's this one here. A very peaceful looking finished stamp. Inside of this envelope, she said, I found this card. Empty halls, looks like they need to put something in here. So I found this card in the art museum she went to. It's inside Parliament, and she has been inside Parliament a couple times when it had an open house. So maybe that's why the halls are a little bit in here, but this is Parliament House for them. Interesting. Then she sent this card. Kind of has a World War II or a Korean War type look to it with the age of that plane. She said, I've had my vacation now, so I can sleep better tomorrow. I'll wake up early and I'll take the 10:30 ship to Tallinn. So I know she's done her vacation. She's back to work again. Did sound like she had a nice time, but these were from March 17th after all. So thank you so much for continuing to send cards, even when you're on your vacation. I love hearing from you. The next envelope comes from our friend Stephen in Australia. I'll show you the stamps. This one here contains some stamps inside, so I'm going to save that for a video next week. But it also does contain his answer to what do you collect. So you'll see those cards and that answer tomorrow in the video or in the live stream. So tune in for that. He wasn't done though. He sent this envelope covered in beautiful older stamps. He did say they were mint originally, and he had to glue them on because the gum was gone. So even if I soaked this one, got a little bit of a rip as it traveled, but nice stamps. I wanted you to take all that in first. And then this was done in the most Stephen way. He says most of the stamps on the envelope are ones that were unused but had no gum. So I told you that already. So we'll leave that aside. He sent 11 postcards inside of it. But what's very Stephen about it is they are all written on. So we're going to go through it. This is going to be the Stephen part of the video, and I'm going to get you to take it all in. So all these postcards, well, he'll tell it here. He said, these postcards may be either supremely fascinating or excruciatingly boring for you. Either way, I'm sure you'll let me know. I think it's just hilarious that you've given so much detail on all of these. It's just perfect. You might be asking, who's this? Well, we're going to find out. Anyway, all these postcards are the ones that were available at the main post office in Ankara when I was in Turkey from 1998 to 1999. The first two would need stamps to post, and you will see the word pull up here in the top right-hand corner where you might expect to find a stamp. Pull, of course, as I'm sure you've guessed by now. Have you guessed? It's Turkish for the word stamp, as a postage stamp rather than a stomping of your foot. He used to be an English teacher, so you're going to hear that a lot, that he's going to do these little jokes. Sorry, ever the English pendant, if you can read the signature. There's the signature there. I couldn't read it, but it says, you'll realize that the picture of İsmet İnönü, who was the second president of the Republic of Turkey, that's the country, not the victim of Thanksgiving. İnönü was the president from about 1933 to 1950, so not a bad run. No, I would say 17 years is a good run. This postcard also pictures İsmet İnönü. He's the guy standing on the right. So this gentleman is the same as this gentleman, just at a younger age. But who's this sitting here? Well, the chap who is seated is, of course, the first president of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, and later we're going to get into the pronunciation. In Turkey, Atatürk has a status as close to being a god as possible in a country where such an idea could be extremely problematic. Suffice it to say, Atatürk's face appears on all Turkish coins and banknote because of this. Then we have this card. Not a stamp, but same image here. It says, it is illegal to write anything on a banknote in Turkey as this is regarded as being disrespectful or perhaps even blasphemous. You can also fall under suspicion if you have a banknote that has been written on, even if you are not the one who did it. All right, quick side note though, and I'm going to put an image up here. Our $5 bill has Sir Wilfrid Laurier on it, and many people Spock-eyes him. You know what that means? Well, it means they turn a normal Sir Wilfrid Laurier $5 bill into the image of Spock from Star Trek. So it's not illegal to deface our currency, it's just people do it. So in the top left-hand corner of these postcards, you will see the word Gönderin, meaning sender. Just thought you might like to know. This postcard is, I think, a commemorative postcard, but I have no idea what it commemorates. I suspect it may have something to do with the letter writing, and it may be that the mosque at the bottom of the image may be the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, right down here. They said it could also be the Blue Mosque, also in Istanbul, or even possibly the main mosque in Ankara. But if I had to bet on it, I would go for the first. This postcard I can give you is has a little bit more information about it. It was issued in 1998 to commemorate the 60th anniversary of Kemal Atatürk's death in 1938. The picture of the bottom left-hand corner of the postcard shows the Antikabir, which is the complex that includes Ataturk's mausoleum. Needless to say, the portrait in the stamp area is of Kemal Ataturk. There. Prior to the 1930s, Turkish people didn't have surnames. But with the passing of the surname law, Turks had to choose a surname. And a Turk chose his surname because it means father of the Turks. Yeah, you're learning all sorts of history about Turkey today. This one here says, I'm not entirely sure what this postcard's reasoned at, so raison d'etre, what its purpose is, but I would assume that it had something to do with the youth philately. Seems logical to me anyways. You'll notice that with the pre-stamped postcards, the postal rate is shown in a number of ways. Some have values in lira, the currency of Turkey, divided into 100 kuros, and the S has a sh sound. Others have no value indicated but have a letter rate. I believe that PC means postcard rate. Postcard 4 and 10 had that. It means first class, which are on postcards 8 and 9, and I assume those are domestic, not international rates, because these are assumptions. I could be totally wrong. This one here. To be honest, I really do not remember how much I paid for these postcards. I do know that they were a little over face value, but the face values only look scary numbers. The highest face value is shown as 100,000 lira for a postcard. But there are two things to remember. The first is that the rate is for airmail to the USA. The second is that at the time I was in Turkey, the exchange rate was more than or less 1 million lira to $1 US, so 100,000 lira was only 10 cents. This postcard is to commemorate the Turkish Humanitarian Society, whatever that is, but I believe it's a charity to help the poor. All right, Stephen, we're only halfway there. Can you believe it? All right. This one here, we've got some stamps to look at. This postcard commemorates the 50th anniversary of the Istanbul Philatelist Society. The stamp design is quite interesting in that is oblivious. The corner of the stamp. Well, interesting that it is oblivious to the corner of the stamp, but it also alludes to the traditional Turkish design as might be found in textiles and carpets. It also is interesting in the mix of the languages in the text. There is, of course, Turkish for the main text, then the sender and addressee are in Turkish and English. Finally, the postcard is in Turkish and French. If you could choose one of the stamps, which would be your favorite? I think this airplane would be the favorite one I would have of that. These two, the airplane and the train, jumped out at me. I know other people are going to say the butterflies and all sorts of stuff, but those two. And this grayscale one looks a little interesting as well. So this postcard commemorates the 158th anniversary of the Turkish Ottoman postal system. You may have noticed that the commemorative postcards often have yıl in the text. This simply means year. So down here. In Turkish, the spelling is mostly phonetic, but there are a few letters that may be a bit different from what you might expect. So then he's going to go on. I'm not going to read all this bit. He's going to go on to what CHs and S's and what they all stand for in Turkish and how you would pronounce them. Because of the amount of information, I'm just going to skip over that, if you will pardon me for doing so. I said, this and the next postcard was issued to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Turkish Republic, as it can be seen in the logo on the bottom center of the postcard. The logo was also sold as pins, badges, and on one of the stamps, a miniature sheet was issued. So there are the stamps, very nice. And this is the other card that goes along with it, a nice plain stamp. So this is the second of the 75th anniversary of the Turkish Republic commemorative postcard. As you can see, it is more of an aeroplane theme rather than a train theme. The miniature sheet of the logo stamp also shows the plane, a boat, and a train. I don't know whether there was a postcard with the boat or the ship theme. I don't remember seeing one, but it doesn't mean there wasn't one. Something that I forgot to mention earlier on when I was talking about the currency of the time. I was there during inflation of the time. It was quite high. Let's go to the last postcard. Was usually when he got his salary, which was always in cash, I would figure out what he needed for a week and then race down to the bank and convert the rest to US dollars or another strong currency, but mostly the US dollars. 1 week I forgot an expense, so I had to convert some of my US cash back into lira. And although this was only about 4 hours later, I still ended up with more lira than I had paid for the dollars. Yippee! Or yay, as he put it. Not sure what this postcard is about. It came with the pre-printed address, but no idea why. Best wishes, Steve. If you've had any chance, and hopefully you get to, have correspondence with Steve or Stephen in Australia, he knows a lot about a lot of different things. He would say he is a jack of all trades and a master of none, but if you're a jack of all trades, it still means you have incredible amounts of knowledge. So I appreciate him sharing it, and when he sends me emails, he gives me great detail on a number of subjects, and I've even been able to use that in some of my videos. So I appreciate all the extra information that you give me. All right, that's it for the regular mail that is kind of post-crossing related. The last one is kind of a take it or leave it informational thing. This envelope showed up from the United States, from Los Angeles, California, from Maria. In it was a letter. I'm going to read you the letter because I think it's a public service announcement. It says, "Hello, I watched your videos on YouTube and I learned about post-crossing. I think it's a great hobby. I just wanted to ask you not to buy your stationery items, your washi tape, your stickers, etc. on Temu. This is a Chinese site that uses labor of ethnic minorities, the Uyghurs, Uygurs, imprisoned or in concentration camps. Please read up that China is doing to Uyghurs. It's horrifying. As consumers, we can choose and not to give our money to a company or a country that is doing ungodly things to human beings. Hope you can understand and hope you will never buy anything from Temu." Thank you, Maria. So, like I said, this is a take it or leave it informational thing. I have done some videos showing what I've got off Temu. They're cheap products. I don't mean that they break easy, that they're inexpensively made. They're sold cheaply. So I can go into my local Staples store and buy 3 rolls of washi tape and it costs me about $12. I can buy 6 rolls of washi tape from Temu and it costs me about $1.50. That was one of the reasons that I looked at Temu, saving money. But with this information, now I've got to go onto the internet, which also you have to take it or leave it because there will be wrong information on the internet too, so you have to kind of go in and see what's out there. But I do appreciate Maria sending me a letter and giving me a heads up. One of the things about Temu is that they sell things ridiculously cheap here, and they send them in small quantities. So it is a way for them to get by some of the import taxes they have to pay in North America. If things come in smaller quantities, they get taxed at a different rate than if they come in big quantities or higher value quantities. So that's one of the reasons they can get in here cheaply. They want to dominate the market in North America by undercutting everybody else, which they're doing a little bit. I mean, if you go onto Amazon and buy something, and you can buy almost the exact same product with the same quality for 1/100th the price, and that's what we're talking about. Rather than paying $100 for something, you're paying $1 for something. That's sometimes the discrepancy. I'm a big Lego person, you know that. I can buy a Lego set for $350. Well, I can go on Temu and buy almost the identical knockoff brand, and it costs me about $20. I haven't, but you can. So what you have to think about is, where do you want to give your money to? Do you want to pay the inflated price and buy it from the person that invented it originally, so the copyrighted person, or do you want to get it cheaply on a knockoff rate and try to figure out how are they making it so cheap? So labor costs certainly do have to be a factor. So if they are using prisoners or people in concentration camps to do their labor, or they're using child labor, it's a reason not to buy from them because you don't want to support that behavior. But I do know some brand companies, and I won't name them outright, but they're out there and we use them, we support them, we wear them, or they have taken their products that they used to make in North America and shipped it to countries and factories in countries that have lesser labor laws that allows them to use cheap labor to make the product cheaper, increase their profits, and sell it at the same rate. So you have to be careful all around. That being said, it's up to you. Choose. You have this information now. What you want to do with it, do as you will. But thank you, Maria, for making me aware. It might not have been something that I thought about before. And me making videos, I kind of have to be a bit conscious about what I'm out there promoting or what I'm giving my voice to. So do I want to do that in the future? We'll see. But thank you so much. All right, that's it for my mail. It was a good week. Thank you to Stephen for the content that I was allowed to have for this video. And if you did notice that there were some snips and cuts in between things, one time I showed an address. I wanted to make sure I cut that out. And the other time, the phone rang. So I had to answer that. And in the end, it was telemarketers calling. So I didn't even need to answer it, but I didn't want the ringing sound to go through the video. So that's why there's a couple edits you may have noticed throughout. All right, that's it for now. You guys, if you want to tune in tomorrow to the live stream, it's at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, and you'll get the new question for the month. You'll also get to hear people's answers from last month's question, and you might get a chance just to chit-chat with some friends. So that's coming up. There'll be some post-crossing to do for Sunday, and then Monday is the total solar eclipse, so you'll stay tuned for that. It may be a live stream, it may be a video. It depends on what my connection will be like. All right, you guys, have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?